Hey everyone, Chandelier here, and today I'll be talking about free speech freely, and that title's gonna be really fun, isn't it? um, I guess I wanted to give my thoughts on this as I've been really interacting with a crazy comment section. I'll link the video below, but it's they call me Sonic. And I've been just trying to push out positivity in that area as for some reason um they call me Sonic has been associated with, like, I guess even Islamophobia, transphobia, racism. Just, if you could think of it and it's bad, quote unquote, it's probably it's probably you know, like a song for that these groups use, or they just like to advocate on their beliefs in, I guess, on the platform that this song provides. But I don't know. To me, it's really sad, but I guess it's also a great example of just what exactly free speech is. You know, unrestricted free speech. What does it mean? Could mean a lot of things. Could mean truth, ideals. That's from Pokemon Black and White. It can mean lies. It can mean corruption. It can mean propaganda. It, it's a lot of things. Um, Commonly, free speech is very, like, I don't know. I've come to find in my experience, like, complete free speech is rather destructive, in all honesty. And I'm not advocating for abolishing free speech, but I think you have to know limits, and you have to know what you yourself are willing to put up with. For instance, I have restricted my comments section to subscribers only. Um, that is because I've been getting a lot of spam and a lot of hate from the fact that I've been pushing out positivity against you know, all the rhetoric and other crap. You know, all I'm really doing in that video, that they call me Sonic video in the comments, is I'm just saying I love who, I love this, I love this, I love this, you know, and there's consequences to free speech if you think about it, right? The consequence of me doing that was me being attacked, and that is why I have decided to restrict it on my end to, you know, if you're gonna, like, comment something, I want you to have absorbed what I'm taking in. I want to think of my space as like a club, as inclusivity, and I don't want to allow hatred of any kind or anything like that. Personally, that's my decision. It's my platform. You could hate it for it. You could hate me for it. But my goodness, I am a white boy, aren't I? Look at how much I glow. But that is my own personal decision, because I just do not want to provide a platform for people to spout, just hatred in general. Um, Going on, I kind of dislike the fact that people say, what's the old phrase? Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words may never hurt me. That is not true. To these people, who are oppressed, perhaps all their lives, they hear these things constantly. They hear lies, they hear just negative crap, period. And as, as a result, people in these, like, oppressed groups, they deal with depression, they have like higher suicide rates, for instance. I know this to be common, at least in trans folk. I'm not too certain on other groups, but it's honestly also a problem with kind of men in general, suicide, as, you know, if men try to freely speak themselves, they often get put down. Uh, if you're dealing with whatever stuff, and most of the time you try to indulge on what you may be dealing with, you may be like, suck it up, or you'll get over it, or I've been told many a thing, and none of it has been helpful, personally, you know, and that in and of itself is just sad. And isn't that just kind of nuts? The fact that, you know, I could freely speak, and, you know, sometimes it hurts because it doesn't matter, or you may get attacked for it, or it may exacerbate some issues. Which, yeah, that's just something that may be dealt with. That's just, maybe that's part of being human. You have to coexist with others, perhaps. So, for instance, you can allow people to say their beliefs, but you don't have to respect them. I've come to find that you shouldn't. That's because if you were truly open minded and truly accepting of all beliefs, that means you don't really have something to stand on. That is my opinion. You know, but I think you really should just have limits. You know, if it's kind of like a bystander effect, I'm thinking, where you let people say stuff, and if you're not choosing to act up in response, then you are contributing to the problem. I know this to be a thing within, um, honestly, the police here. I'm criticizing this, right? Hopefully, I don't get attacked for it. But there, you could be a good person and want to do something civically minded, like be a politician or a policeman, but you are surrounded by corruption and, honestly, bigotry, so you may or may not zip it. You choose to limit yourself to benefit yourself because, hey, what if being a politician pays good? What if being a policeman does the same? What if you like the fact that you got a little bit of power and you want to keep it? So you choose to let things be. Um, it can, let's say that you're in a movie theater, you yell fire. What's going to happen? You're going to yell, someone has a gun. What's going to happen? You're creating panic. And the consequence of that is you might get arrested. You're causing, I forget what it is, but you're causing at least a public disturbance. You're disturbing the peace. And I don't know. I think, but therefore, in my criticism of it, it is the most valuable thing of all. I have not talked about the truth of the matter, literally, because truth is the best tool, the best weapon for free speech. You say it to power, they can't really deny it. You can't argue. Um, but sometimes, for instance, statistics can get wrapped up in nonsense. Like, for instance, it's commonly reported that black individuals or minorities in general have a higher crime rate. Now, why would that be? Let's let's give a think. Well, why would they have a higher crime rate? So, most police officers, what's their race? Okay. Um, well, who are they surrounded by? Okay. What do they have the power to do? They have the power to arrest. They have the power to seize. They can temporarily infringe on your rights to make sure that their job gets done. Now, that is an exercise of power to like maintain society. Um, I won't go too much into that, but you're giving a lot of power to an individual who can just detain someone, right? So let's say I'm trying to record a police officer, which is fine. That's completely fine. It is, I believe, it's protection of the press. Um, you're allowed to record them to make sure that they're doing their job well. But let's say the police officer doesn't like that. They will lie and say you can't do that, like bat your phone away, and then arrest you. And that's a wrongful arrest, you know? How often do you think people are wrongfully arrested? Who is wrongfully arrested? I'll even put the source of this in the description. But more often than not, black individuals are falsely accused, falsely charged. Let me think. It's wrongful arrest and then a wrongful conviction for crimes that they didn't do. They're major crimes. It's a common problem, and they serve years of their life in jail or prison for something that they potentially never did, which is, you know, and I'm this is me speaking truth right here. So, what may happen because I'm saying this? Well, uh, I would be accused of spouting rhetoric from the media. Um, if someone was a police officer, they may take offense to it and, try to combat me on this. Um, there's a lot of things that can come to this period, but just as other people can spout negativity, you spout truth and positivity. That is the best medicine, the best combatant. In my, I don't want to say humble because I'm putting my foot pretty firm down considering what I'm doing even here. But my choices are my choices, and that is fine. I do not judge other people for the things they do on their platforms. For instance, Willie, I got to know them pretty well, and they're a good person, free speech absolutist, right? So that is their decision, and they're upholding, a constitutional right, which is awesome. I appreciate that. I think in response, the only thing I could do to push back against people who spout such nonsense is to just, hey, I love you guys, and you're just all happy because nothing makes assholes more annoyed than just like, I don't know, for some reason, unapologetic empathy and kindness. Or, I guess they're really sucked into some propaganda and whatever. It's very hard to break. I myself, I grew up in Florida. There's a lot of that crap. So, but anyway, I think I said enough on this matter. It was a more negative video, but I kind of honestly I have to work through more negative thoughts. But it's just a thing you have to be careful with when it comes to free speech. Um, but I think it is important for me to say these things because that's yeah. Um, and it's good for me to espouse some positivity and some truth. So, you all have a good day. I love you. Bye bye.